Hey, what's up everybody? How you doing? So I woke up today and I've been listening to a bunch of freaking thrash metal and decided to show my Exodus, Testament, and Overkill collection. So in the background we're going to be listening to Testament's Low, released in '94. This is my original copy, my first copy. As many of you know, if you watch my videos, I lost a majority of my collection in a Job 1 May 22nd tornado, which was an EF5. So I've literally had to rebuild most of my collection, so I don't have everything I used to have, but I have a big majority to show you of some of my favorite thrash bands. And I just decided to start with these three. To me, these are the most consistent bands in thrash metal. So I'm gonna show you my collection. I think you guys might like this. I think I got more Testament albums than anything, but I'll start with Testament first and start with Low. The Legacy. So 1987 was when this one was released. I remember buying the cassette. I don't have that cassette anymore, but buying this cassette and playing the same thing over and over again. There's so many good Testament albums. It's hard to rank them, and that's kind of what I wanted to do, was a ranking, but I realized I don't have every single Testament or Overkill or Exodus, and I think this is the best way to show the collection, since this is a VC and we show our collections off. Testament Legacy. Favorite tracks on this is Over the Wall. I love the guitar solo on that. Burnt Offerings. First Strike is deadly. Do or Die is an underrated track. Alone in the Dark, I really love the chorus on that. And Apocalyptic City. Just an amazing thrash album. One of the freaking best, in my opinion. Next up, I think, was released in '88. And by the way, I'll probably get the years wrong because I didn't look any of this up. But going back to this, I think this was released in '88. I would have been in 8th grade when I first bought this. I just became an instant Testament fan overnight after listening to the Legacy. And this album never disappoints. It's a total banger. Favorite tracks on this, I love Area Inhabitants, especially the intro to it. The New Order, the title track, is freaking amazing. Trial by Fire, Into the Pit, there is not a bad song on this. Disciples of the Watch, The Preacher. I even dig the freaking Aerosmith cover. Nobody's Fault. I love that volume swell. For the longest time, I didn't even know that was an Aerosmith song when I was a kid. Another one, I like the intro or the outro. Musical Death, A Dirge. Alex Skolnick. Some of his best guitar solos is on this album. Amazing one. Another one is Testament's Practice What You Preach, which if I have multiple copies, I'm just going to show them at the same time. Of course, this is my original cassette from back in the day. I've shown it not too long ago. But Testament Practice What You Preach. A lot of people, for some reason, don't like this album. I think this album is brilliant, to be honest with you. I love the track Practice What You Preach. Perilous Nation, I love the bass line in that. Envy Live, bass line on that. And that's another thing, this album is very bass heavy. I think maybe that's what it is. But I'm a bass player, so I love the bass playing in this. Another one is the Ballad. For the longest time, I was trying to figure out how they had that I guess reverby cymbal, I thought for the longest time. It turns out it's actually a snare and they took all the bass out of it. I freaking thought that was really ingenious recording. This album was released in '89, I believe, because I think they've released an album every year. Nightmare Coming Back to You. Fusion, I think, is an instrumental. I mean, this is just a banger. Just an absolute freaking monster of an album, in my opinion. This one, I'm going to show both copies I have. Of course, Souls of Black. The first time I ever seen Testament was on this tour. And they just freaking blew me away. When this album came out, the first track I heard was the title track, Souls of Black, on Hell's Headbangers, and not Hell's Headbangers, Headbangers Ball. And I love the freaking bass line in that track. I love the way this album sounds. I know they've rushed it. They always said something about rushing it or whatever. But I'm gonna show the wax too. That's my CD copy that I've had for decades. Just recently rediscovered it not long ago in a box out in my shed, and I was so damn stoked to find it. And it also has some of my favorite artwork. I'm gonna put this one back. And this video might be long. It's got a lot of shit to show. Hopefully I have enough time. But yeah, favorite artwork. Favorite tracks on this is, I love the intro to it for one, but I think it's Fate in the Sky. I love that one. Falling Fast, Souls of Black. Love to Hate's another one. Malpractice, The Legacy, 7 Days of May. Absolute banger. This one probably just on black wax. I'm not going to show that. Absolute banger. Next one up, 1992. I remember I was in high school when this came out. I was a senior, and all the bands kind of slowed down a little bit. And I really, this is my cassette I bought back then. Probably the last cassette I got to show, but I don't know. This album, when I first heard it, it just blew me away. I absolutely freaking think this thing is brilliant as well. Favorite tracks on this is Electric Crown, The Ritual, So Many Lies. I actually love how slow that is. Back then, I think in 1990, Slayer released Skeletons of Society, or the tracks, Skeletons of Society on Seasons in the Abyss. And I really like that slow, choppy sound. And then Testament did the So Many Lies, and I thought that was freaking awesome. Just an absolute banger. Return to Serenity is my favorite ballad on this. I like Testament's ballads. They have some really good ones. The Ballad, of course, and then Return to Serenity. Absolute banger. This album freaking slays. Freaking love Chuck Billy's vocals on this song. Which brings me to the next one. So, I've always been a huge James Murphy fan. Spiritual Healing, Cancers, Death Shall Rise, Disincarnate, Dreams of a Carrion Kind, and then this. He played on this album, and I remember when this came out, I saw James Murphy on the deal. I was like, oh, fuck yes. And Low is probably, if I did a ranking, Testament ranking, this album would literally be number 2. That's how much I love this album, and the next album I'll show, but this album blows me away every time I hear it. I like how they incorporated thrash metal with groove metal and death metal. I think this is a very badass fucking album. Low is rules. Favorite track is what I opened the video with. Low, Legions and Hiding's killer. This one playing right now, Hail Mary. I like Trail of Tears. Goes to their native roots, Native American roots, and Dogface Gods. When I first heard that song, I was like, holy shit, death metal. Because I always knew Chuck Billy did some death metal growls in his earlier albums, and when he put this album out and it had a track that was just all of that, I was like, fuck yes. Killer fucking album. Low, badass motherfucker. I think this was released next. Demonic. Now, my CD is gone, so I can't show it. So I got the reissue. In my opinion, this is another underrated freaking Testament gem. Now people in a lot of rankings will show this very last, which is, that's okay. That's their opinion, and I'm good with that. when I first heard this album, I wanted Low, but Dogface Gods all the way through a whole freaking album, and they released this one, which is pretty much a death metal album. Demonic Refusal, I love that one. Together One. John Doe, I love that. Murky Waters is a killer. Distorted Lives, 10,000 Thrones. Badass fucking album. This one's on black, so I'm not gonna show that. But Underrated Gem, in my opinion, fucking killer fucking album. Now for my #1 Testament album of all time. Everybody, you're gonna be puzzled by this, but Low and this one, The Gathering, are my favorite Testament albums. I love all their early stuff, but they really outdid themselves on those two albums, in my opinion. This one's, of course, a super group with Dave Labard from Slayer and James Murphy, of course. This album's just brilliant. I used to have this on the original press CD, but I don't have it anymore. But got this digipack, and freaking love this thing. This one, I got it because it has Hammer of the Gods on it, bonus track. I don't think it's on this. Oh fuck, it is on this too. So this reissue, absolutely fantastic death metal album. DOA, Do Not Resuscitate, that's probably the best song on this album. It opens off with a freaking banger. Eyes of Wrath, love that. True Believer, 3 Days of Darkness, Legions of the Dead, Riding the Snake, Allegiance, Sun Shut Eyes, Hammer of the Gods, which is a fucking killer ass fucking track. Amazing album. Released in '99. I didn't say all the dates because I don't have them all memorized, but when this album came out, it fucking blew me away. I'm not gonna try to re-sleeve that fucker, goddammit. But listen to that later. 2008, the last vinyl record I have to show, Testament. Don't have the CD of my original CD when this came out, because I'm mainly back in between 2000 and 2010 I was just buying CDs. So this is the reissue. Don't have the CD like I said, but the Formation of Damnation, when Alex Skolnick returned, was probably, in most people, it's unanimous, the greatest comeback album of all time, Testament. My favorite tracks are on side B, Dangers of the Faithless, The Prosecuted Won't Forget, Henchman Ride. On side C, I'd say Afterlife is my favorite. And then this one has bonus tracks, The New Order, Practice What You Preach, and Souls of Black. Fucking fantastic. Fantastic. What wax looks on this. Beautiful. Love this fucking album. Good God, I love that album. Then Dark Roots of the Earth, which I have 3 copies of this somewhere. I gave away my digipack, but the vinyl record is borrowed, so I only have this one to show right now. I think it was released in 2012. Dark Roots of the Earth, it just freaking destroys. I think it's Throne of Thrones. It's my favorite track on it. True American Hate, Cold Embrace, Native Blood, just so many good ones. The digipack comes with all the bonus tracks, but this is the copy I bought the day it was released. I love the artwork to this one. It's not my favorite Testament album, but it's still damn good. It's still damn good. Dark Roots of the Earth, and then the last Testament album I have, and if you notice, I don't have EPs and stuff. Like I said, I'm rebuilding my collection, and those were the last things on my mind, because most EPs and singles and all that stuff has the same tracks you're going to get on the albums most of the time. But Brotherhood of the Snake, This is another good banger. I cannot remember when this one was released either. Shit. Sometime in 2013, maybe 14. It's another one's kind of like dark Roots of the Earth, kind of has that same sound to it. I really dig it, but it's not my favorite, but I still like it a lot. But it's the only copy I have. It's the first copy I bought. So let's just knock out Exodus, because I got a lot of Overkill. Exodus was a band that I only liked this album at first, and I had the other stuff, and it took a long freaking time to grow on me, because basically this one, every track is a banger on it. It's my favorite. Then after that, it's hit and miss. Back in the day, nowadays I'm collecting all the Exodus I can. I know I don't have everything, but Bonded by Blood, probably one of the best death or thrash metal albums recorded of all time, in my opinion. I don't think anything could touch this thing. Absolute freaking banger. My favorite tracks on this one, god dang, they're all, every one of them. I'd say, and then there was None. I love that. Metal Command, Piranha. No Love. I like the acoustic guitar in that intro. Deliver Us to Evil and Strike at the Beast. Killer One. Of course, this one. The Pleasures of the Flesh. Actually, this is probably my second favorite Exodus album. I found this recently in the used bin. My tape player automatically flips tapes for some damn reason. Once it gets to the middle, I gotta figure out how to fix that. But this album right here, every track. Nowadays, when I listen to this motherfucker, I listen to it all the way through. But back in the day, I didn't. But favorite tracks on this is definitely Till Death Do Us Part. That's my favorite song by Exodus, honestly. This is a killer one. Can't remember when this was released, but probably 87. Of course, A Fabulous Disaster. This one took forever to grow on me. But I remember on Hell's Headbangers Ball, god damn it, The Toxic Walks was played a lot. But I like the title track the best. Still love this album. It's just amazing. Combat Pressing. This one, Exhibit B, which I don't have Exhibit A, but I really freaking love this album. This is actually what got me listening to the later Testament and stuff. Found this used in the used bin, and decided to pick it up because I really wanted to give Exodus a chance. And after listening to this album, they just blew me away. I'm just showing the CDs because I don't have the Exodus catalog really memorized when this was released. I think it was released in 2010. I have some wax to show though. Then of course the Let There Be Blood. Actually, I really dig this one. I know a lot of people think that this one is blasphemy compared to Bonded by Blood. But I like Rob Duke's vocals on this a lot. I like the production, so I really tend to go to that one the most, but I'm such a huge fan of that album, so when there's another version, even live versions of the tracks, I freaking dig it. I think this one was on MySpace, if I remember right. I found it in a used bin probably about a year ago. It's a good one. I really dig it. I like it. That reminds me, I wish I had First Strike is Deadly by Testament when they redid some tracks. I kind of dig that when bands did that. And then this one, I fucking love this album. Blood In, Blood Out. When I first heard it, I didn't care for it too much. I didn't like the intro to it. But the more I listen to it, the more I like it. I love the track Blood In, Blood Out. probably my favorite track on this. I can't really make out what the rest of them say, but this is a fantastic one. Exodus, Blood In, Blood Out. And then my favorite Rob Dukes era freaking Exodus album, Shovel-Headed Kill Machine. Shovel-Headed Kill Machine. Yeah. I wish I had Tempo of the Damned. I don't. I need it. But I love this freaking album. Raz is my favorite track. Death Amphetamine. Shudder to Think. I Am Abomination. What was another one? Magnum Opus. I like the Problems cover they did on this. I like their cover better than Megadeth's cover. This is just on black wax. Absolute amazing. And then the last Exodus album, and unfortunately I have, which I'm still working on my collection, is the latest one, which I absolutely love this album. Persona non grata. This album's so freaking awesome. It kind of reminds me of like a thrash version of Cannibal Corpse, in my opinion. But I love the title track, Persona non grata. There was another one, Prescribing Horror. I love that one. Clickbait, Anti-Seed. This is amazing. Don't know if this variant was different. Oh yeah, it was a color variant. Pretty cool. But glad I'm starting to build my Exodus collection. I need more albums, but that's what it looks like. Then to my Overkill collection. Oh my gosh, I have probably just as much Overkill as Testament, but I don't have all their albums. I'm missing quite a few. But I got my favorite ones, of course. Field of Fire, which is my favorite Overkill album. This album right here, just perfect in every freaking way. Raise the Dead, Rotten to the Core, There's No Tomorrow, Second Son, Hammerhead, Field of Fire, which I love the little breakdown in that. Overkill and the Sonic Producer cover. Amazing. Field of Fire fucking rules. I'm trying to re-sleeve these. That's no. Come on, goddammit. Then Taking Over. God damn it. God damn it. This album fucking rules too. I always love that because I have a CD that actually has that on it, but I'll show that in a minute. This one is just it seems like part 2 of Field of Fire, just continuation with that same sound. Wrecking Crew's my favorite track. Fatal if Swallowed, Power Surge, Electro Violence, and Overkill 2. I love that. The Nightmare Continues. This is an amazing thrash metal album right here. I think it was released in '87. And like the Testament, if I have 2 copies, I'll show them at the same time. Under the Influence. This is my original copy back in the day. And what can I say about this album? One of those albums that's, in my opinion, one of their best. There's so many good ones. Never Say Never, Hello From the Gutter. Got those 2 tracks. Brain Fade, Drunken Wisdom, Overkill 3. I love that track. Under the Influence. Head First, I actually like that track a lot too. This is part of the reissues that came out. Had to get it on wax because it's just an absolute banger. My wife pointed it out to me. I walked right by it when I was at the record store and she goes, "There's Overkill," and I about flipped out. Another one, Years of Decay. There's my original CD. And this is another fucking banger. Absolute banger. Oh, I love that artwork. Every track on this one too. Time to Kill, Elimination. Favorite tracks is Playing with Spiders. I love that. I think it's a bass solo. And it goes into Skull Crusher. And that song will crush your skull. It's heavy as fuck. Who Tends to Fire? Fucking love that track. The Years of Decay. And Evil Never Dies. This is a banger. And this is part of the reissues. Then 1991 they came out with this. Yes, I didn't buy the reissue. This is a 2011 Loud and Proud reissue, I think. 1991, I bought 2 albums, and every time I hear, actually I bought Firehouse album and this on cassette at the same time, so I hear those both albums. I tend to listen to them both. But this album fucking rules. Another banger. Coma, I love that. Blood Money, Thanks for Nothing is actually my favorite track. Horoscope, Bare Bones, I love that. Love the Edgar Winter cover. Frankenstein, Live Young, Die Free, and Solitude, I love that ballad. Huge thrash metal band ballad guy. I like their ballads. And this is just an amazing album. That's the artwork. 3 different artworks. And then this is Overkill as well. Overkill. Horoscope as well. I always like the bat, which is on the back of Taking Over. And I've already named my favorite tracks on this. This is not, see, I bought this on cassette first. I bought this one later. But here's the original cover scheme, color scheme of the cover. But amazing. Just like I said just a minute ago. Named my favorite tracks. Fucking awesome album. And then 1994, I Hear Black, or 93 maybe? When did this album come out? 93 or 94, I Hear Black, which is amazing. I almost bought this on wax the other day. I saw it at the record shop, but I just couldn't do it. But this album, when I first heard it, it was okay. And then the more I listened to it, the more I got into it. And it's during that phase where every thrash band was trying to do something different. I can't read the song titles, but there's several different tracks that I love on this album. Yeah, I can't see them. But anyway, this is a badass album. I Hear Black, it's fucking rules. I'll just finish out the CDs and show the rest of my wax. This one, The Electric Age, which was a, god dang. I spun this album a lot when it first came out. Love this motherfucker right here. Favorite tracks on this is Wish You Were Dead. Black Days is another good one. Drop the Hammer Down, I love that one too. Electric Age is an amazing freaking album. Love this one. I think it was released in 2010. I think. I'm kind of going out of order, but I'll just knock out the CDs I have. This is my last one I have on CD is White Devil Armory, which the very first track is my favorite. Armor Christ, whatever it says. Down to the Bone, like that, Bitter Pill in the name. I also saw this on wax the other day, and at the same time I saw the I Hear Black and almost got it, but I think I'm happy with the CD, to be honest with you. It's not one I go to a lot, but I do like it. Killer. And then this masterpiece right here, Wide Fucking Open. I only have another Overkill album to show, but man, this album, I love this album. This one's different. Where It Hurts, Fast Junkie, I love those 2 tracks. They Eat Their Lung, R.I.P. Undone, Under One, Up to Zero, Bastard Nation, Gasoline Dream. Can't remember when this album was released. When was it released? Doesn't say, but sometime in the 90s, I think. Killer album, wide fucking open. I wish I had Ironbound, but I don't, or any of the others. Because my dumb ass, whenever new albums come out, it takes me forever to pick one up. But I didn't sit back and wait on this one. Scorch, which is the recent one, which I think is one of the best thrash metal albums released lately. Scorched, The Surgeon, I love that. Fever is actually my favorite track on this, and I guess won't be coming back. Coming home, goddamn, going home. I mean, every track on this is a bastard good shit. So that's my collection I have so far. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I might see how this goes and maybe show all my Megadeth. I actually have every Megadeth album. Don't have all the Slayer, but I have a pretty heavy collection. Possessed, I got a shitload. And Metallica, I think I have every one of their albums. Maybe I'll share that too. Maybe I'll make a video with those three and Anthrax. The Big Four. My Big Four collection maybe after this. Anyway, I hope you guys liked this. It was kind of fucking stupid, but I kind of thought it'd be fun. You all have a great one later. Well, I'll close out with this. Have a good one.